Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Society of Middleboro. My name is Sebastian Glaspie, and I'm a parishioner of this church and your worship associate for today. If you're new here, we're so glad you've chosen to spend your morning with us. We invite you to sign our guest book in the entry, or you can fill out a visitor card and place it in the offertory plate. If you're looking for a spiritual home, we hope you find it here and want to learn more about how we can serve you. Our greeters today are Doreen Lavassier, Nico Pasilla Dunphy, and Linda Thompson, and they'll be happy to answer your questions and help you find your way around. Our stream team and audio staff are Jeff Giddings and Stephen Larrett. Our coffee hour hosts are Louis Aldrich and Gil Cody. Restrooms are located downstairs. We are handicapped accessible with an elevator serving both levels of the church. The elevator is located at the rear of the sanctuary. We also offer hearing assistant devices, and large print hymnals are available. Emergency exits can be found at the main entrance on South Main Street and the Nickerson Avenue side entrance. At the conclusion of the service, there will be an opportunity to share deeply held personal joys and concerns. For your privacy, this portion of the service will not be broadcast. Please take a moment to turn off your cell phone so you don't miss a word or note and enjoy the service. After the service, we invite each of you to join us for coffee and conversation for those who feel comfortable socializing downstairs in the parish hall. We're so glad you've joined us. You can learn more about our church on our website. The address is on the cover of your order of service. And now, let's enter into our time of worship.
Our opening, hello, good morning. Our opening song this morning is Come, Come, Whoever You Are, number 188, I think, in the gray hymnal. We're going to start out with a drone in the back. We're going to sing it through twice, and then we're going to round it, okay? So hang tight, here we go.
We are all a little weird, and life's a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall in a mutual weirdness and call it love.
Against gray leaves, a chalice of green stems and a flame of red leaves.
You who feel your heart is breaking, come in.
You who confessed and wondered, come in.
You who are angry in pain or not wanting to be here, come in.
You who are hopeful and energized, come in.
Come into this community of your heart where you have been held in love and in comfort, where you have shared your joy and your spirit, where you have asked questions because you felt they needed asking, where you have found friendship and companions, where you have sometimes not agreed and sometimes not felt comforted and sometimes not felt heard.
Bring your broken heart and your grief. Share them.
Bring your confession and your question, share them.
Bring your anger and your pain, share them.
Bring your hope and your energy, share them.
For here in this place, we can be together. We can gather in all the conflicting emotions tumbling around in our heads and our hearts. We bring them together here and lay them on the altar of community. For community means that fragile, not perfect human beings can come together in the name of peace and seek to find peace again.
Peace.
Hope.
Healing.
May it be so.
The Invisible Boy by Trudy Ludwig. Can you see Brian the Invisible Boy? Even Miss Carlotti has trouble noticing him in her classroom. She's too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie. Nathan has problems with what Miss Carlotti calls volume control. He uses his outside voice inside too much. Sophie whines and complains when she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space. Brian doesn't. When the bell rings for recess, Micah and JT take turns choosing kids for their kickball teams. The best players get picked first, then the best friends of the best players, then the friends of the best friends. Only Brian is left still waiting and hoping. JT glances in Brian's direction and just quickly as looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. In the cafeteria, Madison and her friends talk about her birthday party. The rope swing over the pool was awesome, says GT. Yeah, so was the water slide, adds Fiona. That was the best pool party ever. I'm glad you guys had fun, said Madison. Everyone did, except Brian. He wasn't invited. At choosing time, while the other kids played board games and read, Brian sits at his table doing what he loves best. He draws fire-breathing dragons scaling tall buildings, space aliens locked in intergalactic battles, greedy pirates digging for treasure, and superheroes with the power to make friends wherever they go. On Monday morning, Miss Carlotti introduces Justin, a new student, to the class. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneak looks at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. They haven't quite made up their minds yet. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat with chopsticks. What's that? Asks Madison as she points to Justin's food. It's bugali. But what? Bugali. It's Korean barbecue beef. My grandma made it for me. It's really good. Do you want some? There is no way I'm eating boogergo. And the kids laugh. All of them, that is, except Brian. He sits and wonders which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible. The next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. Justin. I thought your bugali looked good. Brian. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. You're Brian, right? Yeah. Thanks for the note. Hey, Justin, Emilo calls out from the tetherball court. You're up next. Sorry, I gotta go, says Justin. By the way, that's a really cool drawing, he adds before taking off. Back in the class, Miss Carlotti asks the kids to team up to 2s and 3s for a special project. The kids scurry around the room to pair off. Brian heads towards Justin. I'm already with Justin, says Emilo. Find somebody else. Brian looks at the floor wishing he could draw a hole right there to swallow him up. Miss Carlotti says we can have 3 people in our group. We're only 2. Come on, Emilo, let him work with us. Okay, I guess. Miss Carlotti gives the class directions for their project. Your assignment is to work together to write a story about what you see in the photograph. Use your imagination and have fun. Whoa, cool, says Emilo. What kind of people do you think would live in houses like that? I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them to go with our story, says Justin. Brian smiles and takes out his lucky pen. It's lunchtime again, Brian's least favorite part of the day. Another 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everyone but him. Brian, he hears someone shout, Hey, Brian, over here. Brian turns to see Justin waving him over. Emilo nods at Brian as he makes room for him at the table. Maybe, just maybe, Brian is not so invisible after all.
This is the meditation, Any Other Questions by Victoria Stafford. People ask me sometimes, is this a gay church? It is a privilege to answer. Ours is absolutely, gladly, hopefully, and humbly, galley a gay church, a gay tradition where everyone, including heterosexual members and friends, are welcome, where everyone is needed, where everyone's experience is cherished as a sacred text, because no one's experience of living or loving can be comprehensive, because each of us holds clues the other needs about how to live with dignity and joy as a human person, and none of us knows enough about that yet to be considered whole. It is absolutely a gay church, even as ours is a gay world. If you look around, gay church, straight church, people's church, a human congregation made holy by the holy hopes and fears and dreams of all who wish to come. Come in, we say, come out, come in, we're all in this together. I will not speak of tolerance with its coarse clenched teeth and bitter resignation. I will not speak about acceptance or of other people as some other kind of lifestyle. I can only look in laughing wonder at human life in all its incarnations. I can taste only, in passing the breath of the spirit of life on my mouth, and understand our common longing to breathe in deep, deep gulps of it. I cannot think of being anybody else's ally, even because even that implies some degree of separation, some degree of safety for some of us, not all. We are allied with no one and nothing but love, the larger love transcending all of our understanding, within which all the differing, gorgeously variant, beautifully deviant aspects of ourselves are bound in elegant unity. I know that on some sad and disappointing days, these words describe the church that yet shall be not the church that it is. I know, but I know, too, that to answer is an act of creation. To answer this question and some others is a privilege, a prophetic imperative, a joy, a duty, and a holy sacrament.
Our second hymn this morning is number 100 in the gray hymnal. I've got Peace Like a River. Stand as willing and able.
Children what they wanted to do for the service this year. We went through a lot of ideas, had a lot of concepts, and ultimately the youth and the younger children really felt like they wanted to do something around acceptance. And so all of our readings and our songs have been meaningful to us around acceptance. The younger kids picked the story. They all helped pick the words for today. And we decided on doing a little experiment for the sermon airtime. So I have some plants in the audience who understand what we're doing today, but I'm asking everyone who's willing to be a part of what we're going to do. So the kids all have questions about what it means to be Unitarian Universalist. And
I forgot to bring it.
that's okay, go grab it. And so what we're going to be doing is the older kids are going to be coming around with microphones. And in most of your orders of services, there are the questions so that you've had time to maybe hopefully look at them. You can pass. This is supposed to be low pressure, easygoing. The kids were definitely all about asking the questions, and like I said, I called some of you and talked to you, or emailed you and asked you to think about having some answers ahead of time, so if everyone decided to pass, I'd have at least 4 or 5 people who would answer questions. So that's how we're going to do it. I'm going to have 3 of the kids go around with, of course you can.
On the topic of deciding our service to be the theme of acceptance, I noticed that this is actually the first Sunday of June, which is Pride Month. So that's a big part of why we wanted to do this.
Yes, it really is. It's definitely on all of our minds, and I know when I've talked to some of you, it's on your minds as well. So I'm going to have Jay and Nico and Connor come around with the microphones, and then we are going to keep a microphone up here for Seb and Isla and Emmett, Heyman, and Teddy. And we all each have a question. You do not have to feel pressured to get through all 8 questions. This is like a no pressure situation. But I am starting with one of my plants for the questions. So go, you guys, okay, you got your microphones. They're all turned on. And we're going to start with Christine. So, all right, let you guys go on. We'll pass. Why don't you, Jay, why don't you go to the back? And Nico, why don't you go over to the side? And you can stand up while you're answering a question, but you don't have to leave your queue. I was going to do this with a different setup, but this is how we're doing it today.
Christine, which question would you like to answer?
Question 1, please.
That's me. What or who do you think is God, or do you believe in God?
So I'm pretty sure I believe in God. However, I do not believe that God is one thing or one person or one being. I believe that God is many different things and beings to many different people. And essentially, I believe that God is love. Thank you.
The thing I forgot to say is there's 8 questions. They are not numbered, but you just say which number you want. You can say, please, I want number 8 or whatever you want. Or you can just choose your number and read and do the question that you like.
Hello, which question would you like?
I'll go with 2.
Who's number 2? Okay. Go ahead, Jay, ask the question.
How do you practice spirituality?
Thank you. I guess the way I practice my spirituality a lot of different ways. I mean, when I come to church on Sunday, that's an important part of it to be together with my spiritual community. But a big part of it is every morning I try to wake up early and I try to go for a walk, and I do sort of a walking meditation reflection every day. I find that really helps me kind of process everything that's going to happen in the day. I try to do another reflection before I go to bed. And then I just really try as much as possible to make the best out of everything that happens to me. Because life is short and there's no reason to waste it.
Thank you.
Oh, we have Bob in the back. Who's number 4? Here you go, bud. Oh, you're number 4?
My number 4.
I think you're number 4. All right, go ahead. We'll do it. And we'll leave you next. Amy.
What made you choose Unitarian Universalism?
Well, Seb, I was raised in a religious tradition where we had to recite a creed, and we were all told what we were to believe. And in order to be part of this religion, you had to believe exactly what you were told. And I grew to a point in my life where I didn't really think that was right, and I didn't like that. And I was introduced to a Unitarian Universalist church, and what stood out to me most of all was the principle that taught the free and responsible search for truth and meaning, meaning that every person could figure out for themselves what's true and what's real. And I was hooked.
Thank you.
Question would you like?
Being a real Unitarian. Can you hear me?
Let's switch microphones.
Being a true Unitarian, I have a different question that I want to answer. Since the whole service is on acceptance, for me, the most profound meaning of love is acceptance. That you truly accept the other exactly as they are. And you're not trying to change them or make them different. You're just being with them. And that's what I truly find is what's most meaningful in this church for me.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we've got someone over here. Oh, go ahead, Nico. Question 8. Oh,
Question
8.
Question 8.
Oh, I got it.
Can you believe in anything at the UU Church?
I get asked this question a lot. Can you just believe in whatever you want in the UU Church? And what I always say is, Well, yes, we believe in constant search for truth, and we do that ourselves, but we do also, we are not told what to believe, but we do have a set of principles that we pretty much subscribe to, and the very first one and most important one, I think, is that we say we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every human being, and I think at these times that is mighty good stuff to hold on to.
Which question would you like to answer?
The fifth question. Is this on? Yes. I love this church. I came here as a new resident of Middleboro, really not knowing anybody, and it was just amazing. I knew that coming to a new town to find what I would be able to come to think of as my community would probably be at the Unitarian Church, and I had not gone to church since probably I was 19 years old. So I'm way beyond that now, and it's been an amazing experience. Every person in this church, I look around and I just think, you're my people, and this is my community, and I treasure it beyond measure.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Nico. I don't know. The one about, can you believe in anything in the UU Church? So I was really glad you addressed that, Dodie. That was beautiful. That's a question I have very strong feelings about. And I have been asked that as well. And what I say is, this is a church where, for me, it's not about what I want to believe, because there are things it would be really nice to believe. There's some Christian beliefs that take care of you and they send you to a beautiful place, and you just have to do the right thing and all will be well. And it's so seductive, and it would be so nice to believe that. And I, at times in my life, would love to believe that. I would want to believe that. But the truth of the matter is, in my gut, there's a little voice that says, but you really don't believe that, do you? And for me, the challenge of the Unitarian Universalist Church is saying to yourself, what really do I believe? Because it's not always a comfortable thing to tell other people when it's very easy to say, I believe in this, I believe in that, because that's kind of socially acceptable in the larger world. It's really what, in your gut, do you really believe? And I think, to me, that's the beauty of the UU Church. It's also unique. I don't think this is a normal thing in the larger world, and I love that about this church. It's really what is the truth that you find in your heart.
Thank you. Which question would you like to answer? Number one. What or who do you think is God, or do you believe in God?
So I'm among the 70% of Unitarians that don't believe in God. I believe that the universe is one incredible mystery, and that I'm this mammal that has evolved out of the soup that created life, and that my job is to figure out how to live a life in harmony with the world I grew up in.
Thank you.
I have Andrea in the back. Okay.
What question would you like to read?
Number 6.
Yeah. Why do you keep coming to this Unitarian Universalist church?
Good question. I keep coming for community, service, tradition, love, faith, hope, justice, and more love.
Thank you.
Julie? Question 2.
You have.
So I would have said years ago that I wasn't spiritual at all. Meditation, all I did was fall asleep, you know, sitting around.
Hang on.
But I realized I'm very spiritual, and I do it by cooking for people. That's what I do. And it's very helps people, and I cook.
Anyone? So I'm going to ask number 7 because I know who has that question. I want to make sure that gets asked.
Do you have baptism and first communion in the UU church? Do you have a particular traditions you follow in your church?
So the reason I put that question down is because when my children were young, they were really mad about not having what all the other churches in Freetown have, lots of first communions, baptisms, all of that. And I was like, but you were dedicated in the Unitarian Universalist Church. And you had your coming of age ceremony in the Unitarian Universalist Church. And at the end of the year, we have a flower communion. And in the beginning of the year, we have a water communion. And we have cornbread communion. Sorry, go ahead. What else do we have?
I was imitating the water communion. It's one of my favorite traditions.
Yes. Bridging ceremony, which we'll have someone graduating next year. We have a couple kids graduating this year, but we decided not to do the bridging ceremony today. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly be able to let Evan ask his question and answer that one. Anyone else want to? Any more burning desires? Okay. So thank you all for participating in our activity. Originally, it was supposed to be 2 chairs up here, and it was supposed to be these skeptical non-UUs asking these questions but that was so clunky. I was like, oh no, we'll just go around. And I knew you guys would participate, so thank you very, very much. And we will go on to our offertory. We can all go sit down. Come on, guys. number 1064, Blue Boat Home.
Mindful of our highest aspirations, bound by common faith and purpose, and yet beginning with ourselves as we are, let us take one more step together in our unending quest for dignity, justice, and love. Amen.
We're doing our closing song, Everything Possible.
Now, can you hear me? Our closing song is sung by all of the adults to all of the children, our children, the world's children. And you're welcome to follow along in the hymnal if you want to read the words. If you want to sing with us, fine. But we have an ensemble to sing for you.
Where your heart leads, and